us for some adventures on the high seas.
And all!
I hunt for a sunken pirate ship that's been hidden in the ocean for over 200 years.
I make my own treasure by turning a bunch of old, ugly rocks into million-dollar gold. This is worth $250,000.
I take on a whole shipload of pirates to save a damsel in distress.
She's gonna fire!
And Charlie shows us how sailors defended themselves on the high seas with his own cannon.
Ooh, shoots out straight.
It's Popular Mechanics for Kids, Pirates and Gold. Hi, I'm
Alicia! You'll never guess what I just got.
a concussion.
Oh, a treasure map.
Hey, where'd you get that?
Well, I was going to the porta potty, and it was just sticking out of a man's back pocket.
So you stole it?
No. Well, yes. But it's really great. All I have to do is follow the instructions on this map, and bingo, I'm rich.
Yeah, but Tyler...
No time for that, Alicia. I've got a long journey ahead of me.
Tyler?
'67, '68, '69, '70. There, the treasure should be right where I'm standing.
I know.
What do you mean you know?
Well, look. That's what I was trying to tell you.
For crying out loud.
Well, let's find out what it is. Hey, there really is something here.
Some kind of a lid.
Well, lift it up. Here.
Oh, what's that smell?
Oh, great, Tyler. This is a map to where they store the waste from the portable toilets. Oh.
Looks like I'm gonna have to hunt for treasure somewhere else. I'm in the Gulf of Mexico, and right there is Dog Island. Because of its hidden coves, Dog Island was a perfect place for pirates to stage surprise attacks on Spanish ships as they sailed by. That was 300 years ago. Today, it's a perfect place for treasure hunters. This is Chuck Mead. Chuck is an underwater archaeologist. He's looking for a sunken pirate ship.
Hi, Tyler.
Hey.
Tyler, most people don't realize how hard it can be to find these old shipwrecks. Most of the old cannons and gold bars and other archaeological treasures that were lost on ships were lost on vessels hundreds of years ago. Archaeologists have to be like detectives. We have to search through the old history books, search through the old maps in order to try to discover these old ships. Right now, we're on the track of an old pirate ship called the Fox that wrecked in 1799, and we think that we just may have found it.
The Fox was an English boat headed by a fearless pirate named William Augustus Bowles. Bowles was a pirate commissioned by England to conduct land and sea attacks on the Spanish. In 1799, his boat got caught in a storm and it sank. Well, right here.
We're going to take you to a spot that we located with our equipment here. It looks like we have a ballast pile, or just a pile of rocks, on the bottom of the seafloor. Now, the reason that a pile of rocks would indicate a shipwreck is that in the old days, these old wooden vessels with their tall masts would be very top-heavy. If they didn't have a lot of weight deep in the bottom of the ships, when the wind blew too strong, they could fall right over. So when these ships wrecked, the all the wood would rot away, and all you have left is a pile of rocks with artifacts and cannons and things like that scattered around them.
Yahoo! Let's go diving. My first real treasure hunt. There's the pile of rocks. After 200 years, the remains of a ship get buried under the sand. To find them, we first divide the area into sections. Then we check one of the sections. What we find in that square can tell us what part of the ship we're at. Let's dig. Now, we don't want to break anything we might find. So we remove the sand very gently by fanning our hands over it. Yup, this is the place all right. Rocks, 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 and even more rocks. To dig even deeper, we use a dredge. It's like a giant vacuum cleaner. The dredge sucks up the sand. This box acts like a filter. It catches any artifacts that the dredge might have sucked up accidentally. We'll send everything we find to a lab. Archaeologists have been able to identify pirate ships from the treasures found in the wrecks. Chuck and his team won't find out for a while if this is actually the wreck of the Fox. It might take months or even years. But I can be patient because this is one cool job. What do you get when you mix a bunch of angry pirates with one dashing buccaneer?
Go get them?
An unbelievable adventure. That's later on PMK.
We've all seen the pirate and his talking parrot. But do parrots know what they're talking about? Dr. Irene Pepperberg thought they did, and she decided to find out.
Keychain, good boy.
How many blue block?
She and her students did an experiment. They tried to teach Alex here to understand and to answer questions.
What's wrong?
Four.
You're right.
Boy.
Good boy.
Yeah. What is it? Nail. What matter? Rock. What toy?
Truck.
Yes, it's a truck. What color truck? What color? Yellow. Good boy.
When it was all over, Alex identified over 80 objects and answered questions correctly 8 out of 10 times. Dr. Pepperberg believes that birds may be a lot smarter than we think.
Shower.
Yeah, shower. You want more shower?
Long ago, me bucko, some ship sank to the bottom of the sea with all of their treasures lost forever. Well, that was then, and this is now. It's Merlin, the remote-controlled sub. When treasure ships are sunk so deep down in the ocean that even divers can't get down there, now there's a way to get the treasure out. While Merlin floats down to the bottom of the ocean, people control it from this room on a ship. You can see what you're doing using built-in video cameras. Merlin's got everything you need to get the treasure out. Robot arms to grab stuff with, a kind of vacuum cleaner to suck away dirt so you can find stuff, even a suction cup to move those big rocks. Found it, a gold bar. There's more where that came from.
Pirates stole their gold. To get it the honest way is a lot of hard work. It takes this much rock to get this itty-bitty piece of gold. Oops. Security's tight around here. I'm here at the Larone Gold Mill. I'm gonna turn rock from a gold mine into pure gold. Do you know how to get from this to this? All right. Torture. To get gold, you have to grind, shake, bubble, poison, electrocute, and melt the rocks. Let's start with grinding. Inside this drum, 33 tons of steel balls crush the rock and grind it into powder. Next, they add water. It makes it turn into a paste. It's called a slurry. It's shaking time. Gold is one of the more heavier metals, so if you put the slurry on a sloping table, the gold slides to the bottom first. And here it is, real gold. But the sloping table doesn't shake out all of the gold. Some of it is still in the slurry, mixed in with another metal, copper. So it's back to the torture chamber. We bubble up the leftover slurry, and the copper floats away in the bubbles. Just a few more steps to make a pure gold bar. I'm standing on a huge tank of poison. The chemical cyanide is poisonous to humans, but it dissolves gold and turns it into a liquid. Then we electrocute the liquid.
Oh, it smells like pee.
Running an electric current through the liquid gold makes it attach like a magnet to these plates. The almost pure gold on the plates dries into a powder. Now for the final torture, melting. Gotta make sure it's only the gold that gets toasted and not me. This furnace reaches 1,200 degrees. That's 2,200 degrees Fahrenheit.
The last impurities float to the top. What's left is gold.
Now that's one impressive loaf of bread.
Do you know why it's all worth it? This is worth $250,000. No.
Alrighty, mateys!
A cannon may have been a pirate's meanest weapon,
Fire!
but it wasn't the easiest one to use. You'll see why as Charlie fires off another experiment later on PMK.
What was the most likely way for a pirate to die? Sword fights? Cannon fire? Burning? Drowning? Nope. Most pirates died from getting sick. You see, pirate ships were wet, filthy, and crowded. Imagine being jammed on a ship with 250 smelly guys for weeks on end. That made the ships a perfect place for bacteria, lice, rats, and roaches, as well as all sorts of terrible diseases. And most pirate ships didn't have a doctor. Injuries and infections were usually treated by the cook. In these awful conditions, it wasn't uncommon for half a crew to die just from getting sick. Pretty gross, eh, Nix?
Pirates who broke the pirate rules had to be punished. And here are a few of the punishments they used. Marooning was one. That was getting left on a really tiny island with no food or water. Dunking was another. This means being continuously dunked into the ocean for hours. It wasn't much fun. Keel hauling was when they would pass a rope underneath the boat and up on the other side. Then they'd tie you to one end and pull on the other. Many didn't survive this punishment. You may have heard of walking the plank. Actually, that was rarely done. Usually, they just threw you overboard.
Ahoy there, matey! The enemy ship's raised her cannons. She's gonna fire! Nice shot. I can patch up my other eye and still fire better than that. Aye, is that the best you can do? Okay. I know I'm not really in a pirate battle. But if I was, it may have gone something like that because the cannons that the pirates used weren't very accurate. That's because they didn't know anything about ballistics. And ballistics is the science of cannon fire. The cannonballs that pirates used were, well, bumpy and irregular shapes like this grooved ball here. Just, well, watch. Irregular shapes just won't fly straight. Now, this perfectly round ball. Woohoo! Shoots out straight. Nowadays, with modern technology, we've learned how to make perfectly shaped projectiles, and we've made them even more accurate by rifling the cannons. That means we put grooves inside the barrels. Those grooves make the ball spiral, and anyone who's ever thrown a football knows that a spiral increases distance and accuracy. Who's bad? Oh. Another thing pirates never knew about was muzzle velocity. Muzzle velocity, say it with me. Muzzle velocity. Anyway, muzzle velocity increases the accuracy and the distance by building up air pressure inside the cannon so that the ball shoots out faster. That's the difference between, well, this and this. Besides not knowing all of this stuff, pirates also had a hard time moving their cannons up and down. Now, this made it very difficult to get the right angle, and angles are important if you want the cannonball to go far. It'll travel a longer distance if you launch it at exactly 45 degrees. But pirates did know a few things about ballistics. For one, they knew to use heavy balls, because the law of inertia says that it's harder to stop a heavy object once it's in motion. And two, they tried to get as close as possible to their target to reduce the margin of error. What? Ow! Hey, you're in trouble now! Alrighty, mateys!
Pirates, buccaneers, privateers, they all have one thing in common. They lived and died by the sword. Today, movies and TV shows often recreate scenes where pirates fight each other just the way they did hundreds of years ago. But making a sword fight look real is an art. Bob Warwick is a fight director and works at the Academy of the Sword, the most famous school where actors and performers learn how to fight with swords.
Good. Let's do it one more time. Well, let's do it 1,000,000 times. You can never have too much rehearsal.
Actors learn to fight by remembering small sections. A defensive move, then an offensive move. Putting a few of them together is called a phrase.
Good. That was good. Good. You know, it takes about 3 hours of rehearsal to do 10 seconds of a fight. Right? Yeah. You can't just expect to go out and do it. Right? We got to rehearse. So it's safe, and it looks like we just made it up. All right? We're going to have you do a thrust with a lunge. So you prepare with your sword, you extend, now you wait for me to move, and then you follow me. Go. You got that?
Yeah.
Good. You don't move until I move my leg. I'm the victim, I'm in control. Okay? So eye contact. Prepare, look at the target. Extend, follow.
This sword is a theatrical copy of the kind of swords pirates used. The only difference is these edges aren't sharpened and the tip is blunted.
And even though the tip of the sword is blunted, it can still hurt someone.
Okay, I think I'm ready for my big moment.
All right, now, you know, a fight is a lot more believable when the characters know what they're fighting for. So we're gonna help you out. We're gonna give you a damsel in distress to rescue.
Milady, are you comfortable up there?
Sir Tyler, allow me the honor of saving this damsel.
Fight well, my friend.
Avast me hearty! Prepare to repel boarders! Go get them?
Aye, Captain. Stop!
No, I won't do it again. Honest, let me go.
Bob?
Tyler, that was great. You did everything just the way we rehearsed. Perfect.
But who is this?
Sorry, that was the only person we could get on such short notice.
My hero.
He was supposed to shave.
Well, that's all the time we have today on PMK.
We hope you had a really good time. And I, for one, got some really cool stuff at the pirate souvenir shop. This parrot and Captain Hook's oven mitt. Oh, yes.
Hey, where'd your parrot go?
He's programmed to fly away.
Well, it looks like he left you a souvenir of his own. Ew! You're just lucky pirates didn't have pet cows. See you next time. Today we're going down in submarines.
I go into the most powerful sub in the ocean.
And I go down in one of the smallest.
Problems underwater can lead to disaster. I experienced firsthand what to do in an emergency.
You'll see more subs than you ever knew existed.
Come with us as we reach new depths. Awful mechanics for kids! Welcome to PMK. I'm Jay. Want to go for a ride?
Hi, I'm Alicia.
And this is Omer 3, the fastest human-powered submarine on the planet.
It's kind of like an underwater bicycle. You pedal it to make it go.
And these are the engineering students who built Omer 3. Hi, guys. Later on in the show, we'll take you to the international submarine races. They're held in the U.S. Navy's giant water tank, and you'll see why these guys became world champs.
The races are not just for fun. It took these guys 1 year to build this sub, and the technology that they invented has helped to improve much bigger subs.
Like the giant nuclear sub I checked out.
This sub has more firepower on it than what was exploded in all the wars in modern history. So I don't think they're gonna let me touch too much.
Hi, Jay. How are you?
Good.
Welcome to the Rhode Island.
Thanks.
Hey, you know, we're one of America's largest submarines. We're a Trident submarine.
So is it true we're really walking on missiles?
In fact, we are, Jay. When we're submerged and we want to launch a missile, we open up this door. The missile comes out of the tube, the rocket motor starts in the air, and away it goes.
This is the nerve center of the sub.
the control room where they drive the ship.
Upon clearing the broadcast, bring the Zebia to the con.
8-8. 9-0. 9-4.
Orders go to the helmsman, who steers a sub from here.
Would you like to try it, Jay?
I'd love to try it.
Set.
Yeah.
This is how you can control the direction the ship is driving, and the depth of the ship, and the angle of the ship.
Range, 0.2 divisions in high power.
There are no windows in a submarine, but there are two ways to see outside. The first is the periscope.
Jay, look through the periscope and tell me what you see.
Okay. Is that the submarine?
Yes, it's a submarine just like the one you're on now.
That's cool. Once the sub goes deeper than periscope depth, the other way to see is by using sound. You see, sonar sends out waves which bounce off rocks, ships, even fish.
Okay, right here. Hear that noise? Right there, that's a whale?
Underwater microphones called hydrophones hear the sounds, and computers turn them into pictures. And that's how they navigate. This is a missile. There are 24 of them on this sub. They can fly the distance between the east and the west coast. This sub is huge, longer than 2 football fields, but it can still travel undetected to any area of the globe. This is where you sleep.
Nine of us.
Nine of you. How do you get in there? It's like a shoebox in there.
Crawl in it. You'll like it.
Yeah, I don't think I'll like it, but I'll crawl in.
You comfy?
Wow! These are the torpedoes. In times of war, they would launch torpedoes from in here to sink enemy ships or subs.
Would you like to look inside one?
Sure. Whoa! You're looking at the very first attack submarine in history. The Americans used it to sneak up on a British warship during the American Revolution. It was called the Turtle because it looked like 2 turtle shells put together. One person drove it by cranking and pedaling with his hands and his feet. The Turtle tried to screw a bomb into the ship's bottom. The bomb didn't stick. But the mysterious invisible attack was enough to scare away the British.
Huh? Let's pretend you're a submarine.
Huh?
A submarine has large tanks along the outside of its hull. When it floats on the surface, the tanks are filled with air, which makes it lighter than water. To dive, the air is pushed out, and the tanks are filled with water. This makes the sub heavier, and it sinks. To surface, water is blown out of the tanks and is replaced with compressed air. This makes the submarine lighter than water, and it floats to the surface.
Well, a model submarine is very much like a real submarine. You have a ballast system, you have propulsion, you have control. We use gas, propel gas, the same stuff that you buy at the hobby shop to eject the water.
The part I like most about model submarining is the challenge of building them, and it's really fun when you're out driving them around.
RC, radio control. It's the ability by radio to control remotely a vehicle. I'm adjusting the stern planes, checking the linkage for clearance and non-binding.
Right here is the ballast tank, and this is one of the really cool parts about the submarine because it makes it submerge and go up. If you want to submerge, this lets air out that's in the ballast tank, so it fills up with water and goes down. And if you want to dive up, you just take this, and it's compressed gas, so it pushes gas into the ballast tank, so it rises.
Okay, the model's been completed, but prior to each run, you have to do your systems tests, which involves hooking up the watertight cylinder, making up the linkages, testing those linkages for clear on-binding operation, propulsion. So first thing we're going to do, we get it into water, we vent the ballast tank, and like a real submarine, it sinks. And we're ready for patrol.
And this is the sub my dad built, and it shoots torpedoes like this one. They go about 30 feet in the water, and while they're going in the water, they spin.
Oh, no, not the destroy button! Go, give me the gun, give me the... No, 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 no!
Charlie's here with another wacky experiment.
Hi, guys. Hi.
So, what do all these aluminum cans have to do with the submarine?
Well, a submarine hull needs to be circular, just like these cans. Otherwise, the water pressure would just crush it. Let me show you why. Nabil here has agreed to be a part of our experiment today. Now, today, Nabil is going to be our submarine. Now, take this bucket of water and put it on top of our submarine. That feels pretty heavy, huh?
Yes.
Yeah, now just imagine 10 of these buckets stacked one on top of the other. You see, the more water you're under, the heavier it presses down on you. Now, if you're a diver or a submarine, the pressure comes from all directions, from the top, from the bottom, and from the sides. Now, a perfectly rounded surface can withstand the most pressure. Let me show you just how strong one of these empty aluminum cans really is. Alicia, I need 2 volunteers.
Okay. Okay, I got one. Him right there, and her.
Great, guys, come on down here. What is your name? Natasha, and your name?
Lawrence.
Lawrence. Okay, Natasha, if you would please, put 1 foot up here and put all your weight on it, and I want you to lift yourself right off the ground. Now, see, you'll notice it supports the weight, but go ahead and step off of there. If I give Lawrence a stick, when she puts the weight back on there, lift yourself up and give the side a little bit of a poke, you're down for the count. So as soon as there are any imperfections in a circular surface, it makes it weaker. That's why a sub's hull is pierced by as few holes as possible, usually just the missile hatches and where you enter. Okay, Jeffrey, I want you to put some weight on top of this seemingly flimsy piece of paper. See, now you notice it holds. Now go ahead and take the weight off. And I want you to put the same weight on this piece of paper with 4 sides, okay? It's not gonna happen, is it? And that's because a circular surface evenly disperses the weight. And that's why you don't make square submarines.
Hey, what about me?
How low can you go in the sea? Almost 11,000 meters. If you went up from sea level instead of down, that's as high as a jet plane flies above the Earth. It's in a spot called the Mariana Trench in the Pacific Ocean. Only 2 people riding in one amazing submarine have ever reached the bottom. You might think they did it in the latest high-tech Navy sub. Actually, ever made, the Trieste. They reached the bottom way back in 1960. They had to pour in 13 tons of steel pellets to get it to sink that low. To surface, they gradually released the pellets. No one has ever come close to reaching that depth since. We're in the middle of some serious training exercises that submariners have to go through. And I'm gonna get into it up close. That could be the enemy. is one of the most dangerous things that could happen on a sub. That's why here, they practice firefighting. With flames burning everywhere, it's literally a race against the clock.
Buddy, give me engine room.
With all the water pressure on the hull, a leak of any size could lead to disaster. The more water that comes in, the greater the danger there is of the sub sinking. That's why every crew member must know how to repair all kinds of leaks, no matter how wet, how deep, or how cold. So how is it that they can do all this stuff without getting hurt? Above ground, in this facility, behind these doors, crews practice hazardous situations, too dangerous to try on real subs. Let's find out how. In each of the training rooms, an instructor sits at the back and programs a computer to simulate different problems. Like in the fire practice room, they use propane gas to create real flames, and the instructor controls the fire from here.
Rig shift for fire and general emergency.
Same thing in the wet room. The instructor programs all kinds of leaks for the submariners to deal with.
Quartermaster, take sound.
Some of the training simulators seem dangerous and realistic. But since it's all controlled, I had a great time. It's named after Alvin the cartoon chipmunk, and it's the busiest research sub in the biz. Since 1962, Alvin has made more than 3,000 dives. It's been stuck in crevices, attacked by a swordfish who was eaten for supper, lost its arm and had to go back and get it, and once, a cable holding it to the ship snapped. The people inside managed to scramble out, lucky for them, because it was lost for almost a year, 5,000 feet down. The Navy got it back. It's found new kinds of life, and a 20 megaton hydrogen bomb the Navy lost. Alvin was also the first sub to see the wreck of Titanic close up. We're back with the world champions of human-powered submarine racing.
And this sub is like a shark in the water.
It tore its opponents to shreds. It went twice the speed of most of the other subs in the race.
And since none of the subs are watertight, the people inside use scuba tanks to breathe.
Like Francois, the pilot of the champion sub. What's the secret to making your sub go so much faster than everyone else's?
Well, our sub has something that other subs don't have. We have a computer on board. What it does is it takes care of the propeller blade. The propeller blade can change angle. So when we want to go faster, we increase the blade, so we get more water in the blade. So that's why we accelerate so fast. The guy who's inside has to have a lot of practice, and he has to train really hard before these races to perform. And
is it hard to steer?
At first, yeah. It's like steering a plane, because you're like in a three-dimensional environment, so you have to look at the bottom and the sides at the same thing. So at first, it's really not like walking on a street. It's really like driving a plane.
Did you ever crash?
With this submarine, no. But Homer 1 crashed a couple of times, yeah.
Congratulations on your win.
Yeah, congratulations.
Thanks.
Well, I can't go down in Homer 3 because it's a wet sub, and I'm not a certified diver. But I can go in the ocean into another mini sub. Unless you're a fish or a trained diver, views like this you just can't see. Until now, that is. I'm on my way to Catalina Island, off the California coast, to do some underwater exploration.
I'm going down under in this. It's called a Seamobile. It's a two-man sub, but in this case, a two-woman tourist sub.
Hi, Alicia.
Hi, Sam. She's gonna help me drive the sub. And this is Will. He's one of our safety features.
This is a master control panel. This is a pilot station, and I get harnessed out here. I control everything from here. As soon as we go underwater, you have a dual set of controls inside, and you can drive if you want to.
Of course I want to. This sub is really different. It floats just like a boat.
Yeah, it sits on the surface like a boat, but we float because we've got 2 cylinders that are filled with air. To go under the water, you have to let all the air out, and then you float just beneath the surface, and then the propellers come on and force you down.
So it's kind of like a helicopter underwater.
Yeah, that's right.
In a regular submarine, if you let all the air out, it'll go to the bottom. In this submarine, there is enough air in the cabin that you will always remain at surface.
Great, so let's try it.
All right, let's go.
Am I going the right way?
Yeah, there's no wrong way here down here. There are no highways, there are no roads, there are no stop signs, there are no green lights.
So, oh my gosh. Oh, this is so exciting. I'm a fish now. I can feel it. I'm a
Okay, and
fish.
here we are. Okay, Alicia, you've got the control.
All right, I'm controlling.
Just keep pushing the red button to go down.
What's the maximum depth we can go?
The machine's rated for 150 feet.
It's really almost like a video game. All you're doing is just taking the joystick and going where you want to, and you have no worries.
You're doing great in there.
Thank you. It feels great down here. The vertical thrusters is what keeps us under. There are also 2 thrusters in the back that makes us go forward. That is so pretty. Can the bubble leak?
Well, it shouldn't do because there's 2 seals on it, but if it did, then there's a water detector, and you just abort the dive, and it sends you straight back to the surface.
What's the worst thing that could happen down here?
Can't find any fish?
That would be pretty bad.
Yeah.
Sub in space. Check this out. There's an idea to send a submarine to space. It would get red hot and melt through the ice of Europa, one of Jupiter's moons. It would check to see if there was any extraterrestrial life in the ocean below. Well, that's another episode of Flipper. I mean PMK.
You never know what we're gonna do next. Hey, we never know.
Can't this baby go any faster?
Whatever you say.
Ah!